Good morning and welcome to another episode of CTV's Pillars of Success. My name is Earl Sparrow. I'm your host today, and we have a trailblazer. There is a myth. There's really two myths. There's Tom Joyner is the hardest working man in radio or whatever, music or something like that. That may be true for him, and James Brown was supposed to be the hardest working man in show business and everything else. But today's show, we have one of the hardest working men. I don't know how he does it. One of my friends, Mr. Curt Sheard, is going to be in the house today. Between being a contractor, being an entrepreneur, being a comedian, barber. I mean, this dude, wow. I don't know how he does it, but whatever he's doing, Big Boys BBQ is in the house today. We're gonna shed some light on being a coach and working with Dunbar, mentoring these kids. He does a lot of stuff. How do you? I don't know. You're supposed to be looking skinnier than me as much as you run. And I know you don't eat. Can't have time to eat. But we have Brother Curt Sheard in the house today. He's going to share some wisdom about being a trailblazer in the business area, being a contractor and things of that nature, and of course about Big Boys BBQ. We have future multi-millionaire working on billionaire Curt Sheard in the house today. Stay tuned. If you know some people that want to get their business off the ground, we're going to talk about some nuts and bolts things today. So tag them, let them know that this is coming on, and there's some wise words going to be shared from Mr. Curt Sheard. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The City of Fort Myers has supported new and early-stage businesses by providing a location and technical assistance to new business owners. Tenants also have access to free business consulting, professional receptionist office, free Wi-Fi, 2 conference rooms, a large training room, copier, and fax. Many new businesses now operating successfully have had their start at the Southwest Florida Enterprise Center. If you have a business idea, call 239-321-7085 and come join us.
I was recently in an auto accident. Do I have a case?
If the accident was someone else's fault and you were injured, then yes, you have a case. As a matter of fact, even if you were partially at fault for the accident, you may still have a case. So give me a call.
Happy New Year and welcome to Tax Care. We are located at 2227 Fowler Street in Fort Myers. Come see us and get your huge refund. Have you ever been somewhere and felt like you didn't get the refund you deserve?
Come see us.
Have you ever been somewhere and felt like they ripped you off?
Come see us.
Have you ever gone somewhere and gotten your taxes prepared and then gone back to get your refund and they had moved?
Come see us.
Come see us and get your huge refund. We are waiting on you.
Hablo en español.
My family member was injured at an apartment complex. Do I have a case?
The owners of apartment complexes have a responsibility to keep the residents and visitors safe from harm. So if you or a family member have been the victim of violence or shooting at an apartment complex, then yes, you may have a case. Give me a call.
Hello, I'm James Middlebrooks with the Community Press. I'm here to let you know that we have a community paper that is just going all around Fort Myers, Florida. I have 3 other people that are working with me, and that is Veronica Barber, Pablo Williams, and we call him Bodie, who is our circulation manager. We are working for you. We want you to know that this is the community paper for us. We want to put stories about what's happening, good stories about what's happening in our community. We want to do things on the local level, on the state level, on the national level. but we are sincerely about the local level. But we are so happy that we can report to you 28 pages of good stuff. We're reporting about the churches around this community. We're reporting about the community, about the fraternities and sororities. We're reporting about people who a lady just graduated from high school and she's 78 years old. I think that's remarkable. We are reporting about people who live the longest around here. We have a young lady who's 116 years and she's still around. We love what we are doing and we are proud of giving you the report to you from the community press. Thank you and have a great day.
You ever wanted to know what's going on in and around your community? CommunityTV1.com is your answer. Go ahead, log on to www.communitytv1.com and get your info on.
Hello, my name is W. Earl Sparrow, and I'm excited to be the new host of Pillars of Success. Tune in every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. only on CommunityTV1.com. Pillars of Success, I'm your host, W. Earl Sparrow, and just like I promised, Mr. Curt Sheard is in the building. Big Boys BBQ represent. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I don't know, man. It's something about that jersey you got on is just giving me I don't want to say giving me life.
But it does. That FAMU rally, that orange and green gives you life, baby.
That spirit, it just makes me want to strike and strike again. Boy, there's something about 1887 and October 3rd and all that stuff. You are a proud alum of Florida A&M University, just like I am. And it is graduation season around the world and everything else. How many years has it been now for you?
Oh, wow. 94, so do the math. 22 years.
22 years, man.
Wow.
I graduated in 2002, so it's been 14 years for me.
Wow. It's been a minute.
But then I proposed to my wife at our graduation.
Well, you got it like that, though. So you boss.
I gave her this little ring. I starved myself for that thing, but I did what I could. But I didn't do one of those promise rings. We real men.
That's right.
Men, listen, real men don't do promise rings. We go straight to engagement, and then we set a date, and then we do what we got to do.
True.
We don't do a promise ring, and in 5 years we'll marry. No, we don't do all that. All right, back on topic though. Give some advice to those graduates that just graduated. They feeling real good like we did 20-something years ago and 14-something years ago. What's Monday going to be like for them?
Monday's a reality call. It's like no class. Hopefully they have a job within a week or two. If not, it's what are you doing to prepare for that future? So let's sit down and buckle up and figure out what's your next step to get you employed. With that, those guys have already gotten through the process, but let's bring it back to those here in our community who need to get to and through college. Mm-hmm. Of course, we've always wanted to go to FAMU because we're a tad bit biased. Yeah, just a tad bit.
No, I'm very biased. You can see my Facebook page. They had something with FAMU graduation with a bunch of alphas and Qs and Kappas and everything else, and said nobody does it better than FAMU.
Exactly.
But there's some great schools out there. There are some other choices. If you have to go, but why not start at the top?
Exactly.
Space at the top.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's room at the top, but space is limited. But I appreciate that. But then the other part about it is there's not a job. Create one for yourself.
Indeed. But that creation has to come from a passion. Yeah. So the only way to do that is to figure out what your passion is, and you really don't know it until you experience some life. Some people learn it at early age. Some of us take a little bit longer, but once you identify where your passion is, I say your profits will follow. So you'll be able to make money off your passion. I believe God gives us all a gift, or gifts, plural, and it's just up to us to utilize those gifts to in turn revenue for ourselves.
When you pursue your passion, the profits follow.
Indeed.
I like that.
Indeed.
I like that. All right, you can quote both of us on that. Don't put that on a meme and just act like that's yours. Okay. Pursue your passion, and the profits will follow.
Yeah.
So you have so many passions between being a husband, a father, coach, construction person. You love God. Big Boys Barbecue. I mean, gosh, how do you, as advice to men that have so many gifts and so many things, how do you make time for everybody?
It's really, really delicate. It takes a team. I'm also the VP of the Dunbar Rattlers, who is a local youth football organization, football and cheer. What started out with 7 kids in 2013 resulted in 186 consistently over the past 3 years. Since then, we've been able to just continue to give back. That passion also goes for my commitment to my community. Although I've traveled around the world and I've experienced various cultures, there's no place like Dunbar. And what better way to give back is to reach back and grab that next young man or that next little girl and to show them what a good coach is like, what a true mentor is like, what encouragement means. They don't have to be subjected to a man or a woman living vicariously through them, but somebody who actually wants them to succeed. So how do I do it? I don't know. You just keep running until you just get tired and you get some sleep. But eventually, my reward is bigger than the effort that I'm putting into it. So to know that my kids are going off to high school and they're able to start on varsity, or they're going to high school and they're doing really, really well in school, or you're getting reports back from teachers as 8th graders or 6th graders that this person has done a 180. That's my payment. So to do that piece, that's a volunteer piece. But as far as everything else, you make time. You have to just make time and understand that eventually somebody else will pick up the torch. But until then, you have to do your part to advance our community.
Advance our community. We talked about that on another show with Mrs. Lyons, Crystal Lyons Johnson. We talked about the village. Make sure the village is there. That if you're on the road, as much as you're on the road, we're not knowing what something happened to you on the road or something like that, who's going to pick up and run with it? Somebody has to be there.
Yep.
For the kids, because somebody was there for you.
Yep. We have a very strong village, but that comes from strong leadership. So any village has to have a strong leader and great subordinates. So as long as you understand your role and you're comfortable being a supporting member, just know that regardless of what may get dropped, somebody's going to pick it up without saying, I don't want to do this, or that's not my job. It's all of our jobs. At the end of the day, we're responsible for 180 kids, plus their parents. Because when we travel well. So our parents have a level of expectation of greatness. So we pass that on to our parents, to our kids, and that in turn goes back to our schools, to our teachers, and now the guy, little Johnny, sitting next to him sees that, this kid is acting right. Well, why is he acting well? His coach is going to come out here, or he plays for the Dunbar Rattlers. So again, we want a level of excellence that will benefit our kids and again our community. So the community focus is strong.
I have to ask this question: how do you deal with my baby going to the NFL, have my baby on the bench, parents, personalities and all that stuff?
Well, we have a once a year we have our parents meeting. And we really have a come to Jesus with our parents. If you would like to volunteer, you can sign up. If not, let us do our job. Period. There's no, well, my son is, do you want to coach? Yes or no? If you don't, be a parent, support your child, but let us do what we're here to do. Because we're only going to put the best qualified coaches on our teams, within our organization. And we're gonna do what we can to build our organization to be, of course, the premier organization in the nation. That's our goal. If we don't, then we're shooting ourselves in the foot. For example, last year, we took 2 cheerleading teams to nationals. Both of them placed. We took 1 football team to nationals. They placed 4th. So in 3 years, we take 3 teams to nationals. I think that's phenomenal. But that goes back to leadership and, of course, our parental support. You just have to set a level of expectation with our parents, and for them, once they fall in, the kids fall in.
Correct. That's the buy-in. That's the buy-in. When I was a teacher, my kids knew I was on top of their grades. If they didn't perform grade-wise, they didn't go on trips with me. They didn't perform grade-wise, if they're late to my class or something like that, that would affect their grade. They wouldn't get to travel. They wouldn't get to do anything. So when you motivate kids and say, I'm doing this for you, but there's a part that you need to play in this too. If you don't live up to your part, you'll forfeit everything else that I'm pouring in, and you're going to see and hear when we come back from Disney World how fun it was. You're going to be looking like,
you're sick.
I should have just came to class on time. But I appreciate that, man. We're going to transition a little bit about being a contractor, because it's not that many brothers that are doing what you do as far as that's concerned. I know you're involved with Florida and University with the what is it? It was the College of Engineering, Science, Technologies. College of Engineering.
Yeah. Now it's architecture and building science. So yeah, I'm very involved. Every year we go and I give back. 3 days a year we have Industry Day. So we talk to the kids or the adults about what's current in the job place, resumes, job interviewing skills, how to find the position, what to expect. And we bring in some industry smart people to educate them on what's going on.
Like yourself.
We try. So we look for those people who are outside in the industry to bring in that up-to-date field knowledge. The book sense is great, but to have somebody who can give you the practical, it really ties those two together. So we do that every year, and we've done it actually this past March was our 9th year. Next year will be 10 years we've been doing it.
Well, I appreciate it, and I know those parents and I know those graduates and future graduates appreciate that too. We're going to come right back, and we're going to talk about all of this good stuff.
Amen.
All of this good big
Praise the Lord.
Dry sauce mix.
Yes, sir.
And King's Rub and Sexy Boy, Big
Sexy Boy. Sexy Boy might be a new name.
Stay tuned. CTV 1, Pillars of Success. We got our pillar of success right here, Mr. Curt Sheard, and we're going to be back with him in a few moments.
My family member was injured at an apartment complex. Do I have a case?
The owners of apartment complexes have a responsibility to keep the residents and visitors safe from harm. So if you or a family member have been the victim of violence or shooting at an apartment complex, then yes, you may have a case. Give me a call.
The City of Fort Myers has supported new and early-stage businesses by providing a location and technical assistance to new business owners. Tenants also have access to free business consulting, professional receptionist office, free Wi-Fi, 2 conference rooms, a large training room, copier, and fax. Many new businesses now operating successfully have had their start at the Southwest Florida Enterprise Center. If you have a business idea, call 239-321-7085 and come join us.
You ever wanted to know what's going on in and around your community? CommunityTV1.com is your answer. Go ahead, log on to www.communitytv1.com and get your info on.
Hey, did you hear about churchgossip.net?
Listen up. There's an exciting new place where you can get all the latest tea in church news. It's called churchgossip.net. At churchgossip.net, you'll find anything from outrageous pastor scandals to what your favorite gospel artist is up to, even a few opinion and inspirational pieces. You name it, churchgossip.net will have it. So come check us out. Tell a friend and a family member about churchgossip.net, and don't forget to like and share our page. Churchgossip.net, the #1 source for all your church tea.
After a car accident, call me, Attorney Joe North. I am here for you and for your family. How do you go about getting good medical treatment? Who's going to pay for those medical bills? And what about money for your pain and suffering? And what about the lost wages? For more than 25 years, I have been helping clients with those same questions. For more than 25 years, families have trusted me with their accident cases. So after an accident, call me, Joe North. I am here for you.
Let me tell you, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, nothing worse than to have someone tell you to grow up and give up on your dream. Hey y'all, hey y'all. So
Welcome back to CTV1's Pillars of Success. I'm your host, W. Earl Sparrow Jr. And of course, we have the incomparable Mr. Curt Sheard, business owner, rattler, general contractor, dad, coach.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. Comedian. This joker got jokes, man. Don't watch.
But listen, the true story. FGCU, I think it was 2003, I actually opened up for Tracy Morgan. I did a 15-minute set for Tracy Morgan. And at the end of the set, we talked in the back. He's like, yo, big man. Yo, big man. I was like, yo, what's up? I want to go with you. Where you going? I want to go with the honeys. And I was like, nah, bro. And I hopped in a little caravan. We had a little Dodge van at the time. Just hopped in a little van. And that was my claim to fame. So, yeah. Tracy Morgan, 2003. FGCU was 700 kids there, man. Mm-hmm. My opening joke was about R. Kelly. I think it's the best joke I came up with. It was a great joke.
I remember from our Mount Hermon days, from Mount Hermon days, you would do that. But Big Boys, tell us about Big Boys Barbecue. Tell us about where the inspiration came. Tell us about that moment that you said, I got to put this in me, I got to do it.
Okay, Big Boys started, it started with a passion for cooking. You know, you go on my website, bigboysbarbecue.org, and you'll see the video that says about my passion, how it started when I was 8. And Mama said, if you're hungry, you need to learn how to cook.
Well,
so I learned how to cook. My first meal that I ever cooked was pancakes from scratch. Flour, milk, eggs, sugar, and butter. Melted, poured in the batter, made it, and I made the first pancake. Mm-hmm. From there, it went on to now I can cook just about any type of food because that's one of my passions. I enjoy cooking. What led me to the barbecue sauce was back in 96. I was making barbecue sauce before the internet as we know it today, out of a cookbook. And it's a big old pot of, and it smelled good. It really smelled good until you tried it, and it was garbage. It was garbage. Needless to say, I didn't have any more rodent or pest problems around my apartment because it was bad, dog. It was bad. It was horrible. So fast forward, I moved to Charlotte, and you know, any barbecue sauce starts with ketchup, something sweet, something spicy, and a beer. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much how I started making it. I started with another base, and I just doctored it up. I bastardized it, and I doctored it up to the point people was like, man, I really like this sauce. So then I just kept making it. I started selling it out of the back of my Honda Accord out of mason jars. Mm-hmm. Moved to Fort Myers. I really wasn't doing the barbecue sauce. I was actually just trying to sell barbecue. At the time, we had Frank's Barbecue. Okay. And when Frank's closed, there was a vacuum. There was not a good barbecue joint here in town. So I was like, I just want to have the best barbecue in Southwest Florida. Well, that kind of grew into Big Boys, which I was selling barbecue on the weekend in front of my mom's house. That until turned into a restaurant on Fowler that we had with James and Isaac. Taught me a lot about the restaurant business. Led me down again to where I just stopped cooking. I moved to Georgia, started making the sauce again. People started liking it. Got laid off. Transition. Man, at that time I was getting ready to look at a concessions trailer to cook for NASCAR. Laid off, went to Afghanistan. I said, I'm just gonna build a trailer. I'm gonna cook when I leave Afghanistan. And then it hit me, why cook when you can make a sauce? And that's where Big Sexy came into play. I was sitting on a cot in Afghanistan, and that whole bit came together with Big Sexy, and that was 2011. I came back and I had an event, and people really loved. I had a great reception on the sauce. From there, I had people ask me about, well, why don't you have a mustard sauce? Okay, so I made a mustard sauce, and people said, why don't you have a hot? Because I don't do spicy. So I went Big Sexy, Woo Wee Baby, and I went to Tongue Twister, so I wanted to make it hot. Well, my dad is my taste tester on these two. I don't mess with those two. And then I said, I'm just gonna turn it up. And being from Fort Myers, every summer we have mangoes. And we have a strong Caribbean influence. So I came up with Oh No You Didn't, which is my version of a mango jerk. And that's a phenomenal. So, and to top it all off, every good barbecue sauce has a rub. And I finalized it with the King's Rub. And that truly is a universal, S-O-U-L, rub. From seafood to salads, you can put that seasoning on everything. Mind you, all those sauces are fat-free, all natural, kosher, and gluten-free. But then the pièce de résistance, that's my little bit of French. I have, what you see before you is the world's only dry barbecue sauce.
So that's
this is Big Sexy in a dry form. You add ketchup, water, and vinegar, you too can be a big boy. It's that simple. Man. I take the guesswork out of barbecue.
So you know people can stack that.
They can stack that. In the back, I can put their own label on it. Ketchup, water, and vinegar, you can call it whatever you want to, in all 4 flavors.
Wow.
So this is the world's only dry sauce, Big Boy's Barbecue, out of Fort Myers, Florida. So that's Big Boy's Barbecue in a nutshell.
Well, how do you go from being in Afghanistan and having that idea to the products that you have that are so professional with the nice labels and it's shiny and it's just
it's a whole lot of favor through just meeting other people who turned me on to somebody else, who turned me on to somebody else. Because originally, if you wanted to do this, you have what they call co-packers. They'll want to make a minimum batch of 100 to 300 gallons. Well, if you're a new guy, you can't afford a 100-gallon batch. That's a lot of money. I found a co-packer that can make my batches in 30 gallons. I can stomach 30 gallons. So each one of these can come in a 30-gallon batch, whether it be our retail size at 21.4 ounces or the gallon sizes, half gallons, whatever. So that's the first thing. Secondly, you just have to be diligent. You have to do your research. You have to find somebody who's knowledgeable in product packaging, primarily for foods, because they understand the size and the weights and the fonts and things that you'll need. And thirdly, you just have to have a product that'll sell. So you got to have a product that'll move. So don't believe that you have a great product because you're the only person that does. People are going to tell you. Their actions are going to tell you. And that's why I know we have a product that is going to be, a global leader in the condiments industry, which is a $600 million industry.
Yes, you get your piece of the pie too, man.
Exactly.
That is, I haven't had a chance to try them. I might have to get on that Big Sexy and some King's Rub.
I'm telling you, that's what's up. That's a great pair right there.
These are my two right here. So these are off the market. But you ride dirty.
I ride dirty. If y'all follow me on Facebook, you know I ride dirty. Right now in the back of my car, I got all of the product. And just hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you have my number, even text me. I'm delivering. If I'm in town today, you know what? Mother's Day special. You hear it right here. CTV 1, 5 for the low. 5. You get all 5 of those for $20. Normally, you go it online, it's gonna cost you $32. Normally, I'll charge $25 even when I deliver them. But right now, today, and today only, for the next 3 hours, because I don't want y'all calling me late at night, you get all 5 of those for $20. Can't get no better than that.
But there are other people that have dreams, they have goals, but they overthink it. And, they say the graveyard is the richest place in the universe.
Oh, yeah.
a lot of dreams, a lot of ideas, a lot of world-changing things went to the grave because people weren't bold enough to jump out there and do that. How can you inspire those people that are sitting on billion-dollar enterprises to just do it?
That's funny you say that, because I know this young man. His name is Jesse. He has a wonderful organization called CTV.
Yeah.
He is one of those people who, like myself, started with a vision. But he's not giving up. He's determined. You have to be able to accept failure as an option, because what you see before you, you might see a fully packaged, ready, retail-ready product, but you need to understand that started in 1996, that went to 2001, that stopped for 3 years, that picked back up through layoffs, through whatever, through changes, through working overseas, to whatever the case may be, to people telling me no. I continued and I persevered. So in order for you to get there, you got to relinquish the thought that somebody else is going to tell you no, and you have to believe in your product and your vision and be willing to accept no as an answer.
Yeah. No is, you got to get the no's out of the way.
Yeah.
You got to get them out of the way. If you think that everybody's going to say, cool, here's $500,000, go ahead and do it. That's not going to happen with your first conversation. Your second, maybe even your 50th conversation. But if you give up, you won't get what you need to get. Have you gone on or looked at going on to Shark Tank or anything like that?
Actually, I have. I reached out to Shark Tank about 4 or 5 years ago, and I made it through the final submission round, in which there's a 27-page application. Yeah, there's a 27-page application, and you have to shoot a 10-minute video, which Jesse shot for me, about Big Boy's Barbecue. And it made it to the final cut for the producers, and they didn't pick me up. The following year, they called me. They wanted me to submit again. But at that time, I wasn't ready. But the hook is, you got to read the fine print. And on that contract, it says that Mark Paquette Production can have up to 5% of your profits for perpetuity.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't read the fine print. And that little bit of fine print, so what these sharks have, if you make a deal for 25%, Mark Paquette can get another 5 points on it, so you're 30 points.
Yeah.
And so you'll, at best, even if you buy the sharks out, you'll always be 5 points off for perpetuity. Yeah. Not a good deal. It is, but it isn't.
It's a great deal for Mark.
Yeah, it's a great deal for him. And any deal made is a great deal for him. But for the guys that go in there, that's something that you have to look at. So I did do the Shark Tank. I actually had a chance to meet with Winn-Dixie last year. Met with Winn-Dixie, and the buyer told me that my products were, what you see before you wasn't the final product. I had plastic jars then. The buyer told me that it was more retailed. She didn't feel that it would sell, and I had to enlighten her that Sweet Baby Ray's started in Chicago. You got to start somewhere.
Right.
Which led us up to where we are today. We revamped the labels. We've given some descriptions. We've given vibrant colors. So when you walk down the aisle and you see those sauces, you have no other choice but to stop and pick them up. So you got to continue to persevere and be willing to put forth the effort to pursue the dream and the passion that God has given you.
Well, how do you, where can we get this besides online? There's some physical stores, brick and mortar stores.
Right now, the only person in town that's carrying this is Williams Hardware over here on Palm Beach Boulevard. I don't have the address off the top of my head. I just made that deal yesterday. He has a limited supply. However, we will keep him stocked up here locally. The other spot that we're working on, we have a tentative deal with Winn-Dixie for 150 stores from Orlando South. And as of June 28th, I will be meeting with Walmart.
All right. Now, Walmart is,
Yeah, so I'll meet with the buyers in Walmart on June 28th. So I've not had a no. It's just how many stores are they willing to give me? And so we're ready to make it happen. So I can mass produce this stuff all day.
That's awesome, man. You still, you were telling me you had you were opening a restaurant that was going to be in overseas. Did that?
Yeah, I actually had a franchise in Guam.
Guam, that's
yeah,
right,
Guam.
yeah.
And the reception was great. What I learned about overseas is that you'll still have to have 1 or 2 dishes that you can tailor toward the local culture. And so we had to incorporate a rice dish to tie the barbecue in with them, which worked out really, really well. So that restaurant went well. Unfortunately, the franchisee didn't follow through with the protocol, and we ended up closing the shop. But that's business.
That's business, yeah. That for as many businesses, you know, the world's most popular billionaire, Donald Trump, he has, for every successful business, he has bankruptcies from
yeah, exactly.
7 other ones that didn't quite work out. You gotta, takes money to make money, but failure is the biggest part of the game as success is.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't have thin skin. You just have to move on to the next. You never learn. You win or you learn.
And that's true. And that's true. And also something else that I needed to do here is that I try to get community buy-in. And to be frank and honest, we are our own worst enemy. Sometimes somebody's going to say, oh, my barbecue sauce is better than yours. Okay, so where is it? Where is it? If it's that good, where is it?
Yeah.
Do you want me to help you? I'll charge you to get to you to this point if that's what you want to do. But we as a community, it's hard for us to say, that's a great product, Curt. I'm going to support you. Curt, I want to help you get to the next level. I'm going to always be in Dunbar. I'm going to always be from the hood. But don't let somebody else's goals or ambition hinder them from accomplishing what you want to do. So if somebody tells me, man, my barbecue sauce is better than yours, it may be. However, I can tell you where it isn't. It's not on the store shelf. But until that happens, how about you buy this one and we call it even? So we still need to be supportive. We need to encourage. We need to retweet Facebook. I expect to sell out here in Fort Myers. I don't know why, but nobody seems to want to buy it. But that's cool. You know what? Everybody else across the country does. I've literally sold this stuff around the world, and they love it. From South Africa to Paris to the UK, Afghanistan, Dubai, Tokyo. There's not a spot. Well, I haven't done North and South polls, but people love it. It's a very universal product.
Listen, I want to make sure, and I want to make sure, again, these 2 are mine. You said everything for 20. I don't know, my wife might like the hot a little bit.
Just get the whole set, get the whole set.
And I give a little bit away.
There you go, there you go.
But I'm going to do my part.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it.
That's what it is, because once you are signed and you worldwide, then same people that would not buy it from you are going to have their hand out saying, can you give our church $50,000 because we're trying to take our kids somewhere? And how dare you say no?
Exactly.
And don't support them when they didn't support when you get on. You got to jump on, you got to help, and you got to support. His success is our success. His failures are our failures. But we, as an African-American community, see how much he's pouring into our kids. We see how much he's doing for kids that are going for college. And for us as a collective body to say, nah, I'll just go with, I'll give the Hines family more of my money. I'd rather give them my money than give somebody that's actually giving here. That's hurting you. That's cutting your kids off. That's cutting your community off. And it's time to cut it out. It's time to stop it. Try it. You don't like it, give it to somebody else. But hey, he's here. He's our support. We're going to support him. The further he goes, the further we go.
Exactly.
We grow together.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I support, and I repent because I haven't bought it yet. So I feel bad, so I'm going to make
but
sure
you got yours hand
do.
delivered, though.
But I got my hand delivered.
You got yours hand delivered.
Signature on.
There it is. There it is.
Curt, thank you so much for coming, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
And man, I got to play the church, man. I'm doing that hard, bro.
And can I tell everybody, hey, make sure y'all support Community TV 1 and this brother and what he's doing. This format is an awesome format for you to get out your goals, your ambition, your ideas. Websites, logos, business cards. He has the tools in our community that we could use to further your business. So don't sit back and say, well, I'm going to do it for the gram. Come on over here and talk to Jesse and let that brother do some good work for you because he does phenomenal work.
I agree. So we're going to cut to a video you shot
Yeah.
And we'll close out with that. Thank you very much for joining us again. My name is W. Earl Sparrow with CTV One's Pillars of Success. I'm making it a successful day.
Greetings. I'm Curt, Sheard, CEO, founder of Big Boys BBQ. What's Big Boys BBQ? You didn't ask me what's Big Boys BBQ. It's only the best barbecue sauce you've never had. Why haven't you had it? I don't know. People around the world talk about it. Afghanistan, Dubai, Tokyo, Australia, Paris, England. Everybody loves Big Boys BBQ. So what is Big Boys BBQ? Well, we're a small, veteran-owned specialty sauce manufacturer based here in Fort Myers, Florida. We have a line of 4 barbecue sauces. One being my Big Sexy. It's a sweet tomato-based barbecue sauce. It's rich, it's tangy, it's all natural. Oh my God, it's big, it's rich, it's sexy. My second sauce, Woo Wee Baby. It's my version of a Southern style mustard sauce. It has a little bit of twang to it, hits you in the back of the throat, make you say, Woo Wee Baby. And then I got my third sauce. My third sauce combines my Florida background, a little bit of mango and a little bit of heat, and I call it, Oh No You Didn't. Oh yes I did. I call it Oh No You Didn't because you can't believe you're gonna have a sweet mango tomato-based barbecue sauce on any type of meat that you desire. And my fourth, for those enthusiasts who like it hot, I have Tongue Twister. Man, let me tell you, I want to try it. You have to have metal gloves and a metal bodysuit to try this barbecue sauce. But it's so insanely good, it goes great on everything. Did I say everything? I meant everything. And oh, by the way, Big Boys BBQ, all of our sauces come in a dry form. So for those guys and ladies who at home who like to cook, no reason to buy it in the bottle, buy it by the bag. Add some water, some vinegar, and add our special mix, cook it for 30 minutes, voila, you can be a big boy too. And then remember, you can find Big Boys BBQ at www.bigboysbbq.com.